wasn't his Nicholas Guirino's? Isn't he like a phone? A phone analyst or something?
I can't remember.
He had a controversial, something controversial in his testimony. That's the name he for himself. Please.
I hope he's a controversial witness.
Sure, you can have a seat. I'll remind you you're still in your
Or stand, however you're most comfortable today. Just do it.
There you go. Brightbear says he's the state police phone guy.
everyone.
Thought so, yeah.
Sir, yesterday we talked about downloading
There'll be some
phones and making what they
time.
called
Oh
extractions.
yeah, it's him.
Yes.
And from that data, you could create different types of reports.
So have Detective Guirino say his name again, please.
I'm sorry. Again, for the record, could you introduce yourself to the jury and spell your last name for the record?
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Nicholas Guirino, Guarino.
Thank you.
Sir, you mentioned yesterday that you downloaded a number of phones, or you were involved in the process of downloading a number of phones.
That's correct.
You explained to us that after you have the data analyzed, you can pinpoint certain items that you may want to put in a document.
Yes. So the extractions into a program of our choosing, Cellbrite is the most commonly used, and then we can take call logs or text messages, any information that the investigator is looking for.
When you downloaded Mr. O'Keefe's phone and you downloaded the defendant's phone, did you try to create, or did you create a report through Cellbrite, the software,
Did you talk?
that would show you all of Mr. O'Keefe's call logs?
Yes, I did.
And when I use the term call
Yep.
logs,
Did you see his comments?
Yeah.
Just because you could, yeah?
But he forgets I can do that.
what does that mean?
The call logs are the calls that the phone
By the
receives.
fence rest. That wasn't me. You do that under my name.
How do you create a report from Cellbrite?
He was
Can
bad.
you just walk us through that process briefly?
No, he's timed out.
Oh, that's all right. But you blame it on me.
So in the program, you can go in and select the calls.
StreamYard does that,
and
unfortunately.
export it into different formats, PDF, XM.
Is that a joke or is that serious?
Hmm?
You want me to? Huh?
No, they, him and Jason just like to try and troll me and try and get under my skin, and I can't be arsed with it.
Are they doing that now? Because I can't see the.
No, I've stopped them, so it's all right. Don't worry about it.
You sure? Because
Yeah.
I can say. I'm sure Teresa would love to get that trigger finger happening. Just say the word.
ML,
Put it in
HTML.
private chat.
Or you can create a portable case and extract them all as a portable case that we would see on my computer.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
There you go. We have confirmation. We have
Showing you a
engaged target.
document of Mr. O'Keefe's call logs. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what is it?
It is the call logs. Just want to make sure it's between John O'Keefe and the defendant from, just want to see the dates, the
That's Sun Troll Patrol.
28th, January 28th, 2022 to January 29th, 2022.
Would this contain all the phone calls from his phone data, the calls between those two parties that night?
Yes, that's what I created.
This one.
I'd like to move this as an exhibit, please.
If I could, Your Honor, just want to compare, make sure we got the same.
Okay.
Does that extend to a red-headed dickhead?
Thank you very much.
No,
Okay.
sorry, so that's not.
Okay.
No objection.
WATERFALL was one of the last time.
You captured all of the phone calls between two parties on that last document. Can you also do that with chats?
Yes, that is true.
And did you do that in this case?
Yes, I did.
Did you create a document of chats between the phones of the defendant and Mr. O'Keefe for after midnight, for the evening hours of January 29, 2002?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
Yes. I'll allow it. Did you make your object down?
Hmm?
Did you make your object?
It has.
Recognize that document, sir?
And? You're
When I
hiding
am
it.
not, yeah, when I'm not
Yes, I
so full of cold and everything, I shall.
These are the texts from the defendant to John.
Let me just let you into one of the best secrets of streaming. Touch up my appearance. It works fucking well.
O'Keefe. Yes,
For January.
I came on with
29,
wet hair.
2022.
yes, that's correct. So I'm sorry.
Straight out the shower.
I move this as an exhibit, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
24.
Did you identify or specify chat messages between John O'Keefe and a person named Jen McCabe?
Yes, I did.
Did you create a Cellbrite report?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
Do you all know Nicholas Darrow? He's a content creator over in where is he? Sweden, I think. We had him on the podcast with Zachariah Axon. He's just put up on Twitter. Of course, Karen did another women near John. For the women near John's age in Canton would throw their knickers to the wind if he showed interest. He looks like a Viking. It's so funny. Back to you for the sentence, I think. Back to sentence. Don't like Twitter. It's a cesspool.
Can we have just a brief moment, please?
It's sidebar?
No.
Just the two of them?
Compare them, what we have.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're welcome.
Sir, I'm handing you a document. Do you recognize it?
Yes, this is the text messages between John O'Keefe and Jen McCabe on on January 29th, 2022.
And this is through a search of Cellbrite. You match their data, pull up all of their conversations.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. I move to introduce this, please, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
25.
Similarly to the chats, did you do the same with calls between Mr. O'Keefe and Ms. McCabe?
Yes, I did.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Showing you a document, sir. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, this is the call log between John O'Keefe and Jen McCabe for, just want to make sure I get all the dates correct, just for January 29th, 2022.
I think this is good evidence, Your Honor.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
To the 26th.
Did you do a file extraction and a report on all chats between the phones of John O'Keefe and the defendant for a period of time?
Yes, I did.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Getting you a document. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, this is the text messages between John O'Keefe and the defendant from January 28th to January 29th, 2022.
Do I move this into evidence?
Okay. Mr. Lessie?
No objection, Your
All
Honor.
right. Thank you.
To the 27th.
Did you have an opportunity to make a report from some of the data from the defendant's phone from January 29, 2022?
What are you referring? I did make some reports from the defendant's phone.
What's a call log report?
Again, the call log report is the calls that the party makes to another phone. So it's going to show everyone they've called or attempted to call.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to take a look at this document. Do you recognize it?
Yes,
And could you tell the jury what it is?
it's the call log from the defendant's phone on for January 29th, 2022. For, it looks like everyone she called.
Introduce this as an exhibit, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
To the 28th.
What we just introduced into evidence is the entire call log of calls to anybody and everybody to and from for that period of time.
Yes,
That's fair to say?
yes, that's correct.
And then can you further isolate calls between just two parties?
Yes, you can. You can search by phone number or name.
And did you do that with the defendant's records for some parties?
Yes, I did.
Did you isolate phone calls between the defendant and Ms. McCabe for the evening of January 29, 2022?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
I'm not surprised. Was Gordon there?
Guys, take a look at this document. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's the phone calls from the defendant and Jennifer McCabe, January 29th, 2022.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'd like to move this into evidence, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Is
Right,
it
thank
the
you.
trial that I hate, the movement of evidence in.
Did you isolate calls between the defendant and Ms. Roberts for the night of January 29, 22?
Yes, I did.
advance to the last exhibit, please? Thank you, sir. I asked you to take a look at that document. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
Could you share with the jury what it is?
Yep. It's the call logs between the defendant and Kerry Roberts for January 29th, 2022. Yes,
That's a report you created.
yes, it is.
Your Honor, listen to evidence, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Let her rip like defense wrist.
30.
Did you have an opportunity to isolate and produce a report for all chats between the defendant and Ms. Roberts for the night of January 29, 2022?
Yes, I did.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
So I'm handing you a document. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And could you share with the jury what that is?
This is text messages between the defendant and Kerry Roberts on January 29th, 2022.
I would move this to evidence, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Jurors, this is the way we have to put evidence in cases in Massachusetts, okay?
Have to do a lot of things in Massachusetts.
So do you have an opportunity to identify a text message or a chat between the defendant and a person by the name of Ingrid on the morning of January 29th, 2022?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
Big Wellington. Well, you're lucky. It wasn't cooked down here in Morwell by Aaron Patterson. Was that including drinks as well? $370? Oh, that's $370 American, isn't it?
Sir, take a look at this document. Do you recognize it?
Lobster risotto.
Yes.
Could you tell the jury what that is?
Yes, this is a text conversation between the defendant and looks like a group chat between Ingrid Curtis.
Can you see my chat? Dan?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
And Bill Curtis.
Yeah. What we see on StreamYard is a mix of
Yes,
both our
this
charts.
is on
Yeah.
January 29, 2022.
I just wanted to make sure that you can see what Brian was saying.
Evidence, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa.
Exhibit 32.
If this is a good time, if the honor would permit.
Okay. Jurors, what we're going to do is we will take our morning recess now, and we'll take 20 minutes to a half an hour. We'll see you then.
Well, lucky for you, I am 6 minutes behind, so and now up to date. Oh, it's very, very hard, apparently. Very hard to cook. Yum. But it's difficult. It's wrapped in pastry. Did you hear about the beef Wellington? I think I asked you this the other day, didn't I? About Aaron Patterson. Dan. Hello. Hello. Is my mic on?
There we go.
No, that's your mic. Can you hear me? I just can't hear you. If you're talking, can't hear you. All right. Well, I might start.
Huh. Can you hear me
Oh,
now?
that's better. Yes, I can. Yes.
Woohoo!
Me. Does anyone have any questions they wanted to ask the database? Anything particular so far? Not clarified?
I don't think there's anything controversial yet.
There's a fair bit. Well, not controversial, I wouldn't say, but it's an extremely far more detailed testimony that she gave. Just all right, so now you'll show it. I spent 2 hours playing around with this, trying to print the PDF, and now it's showing it to me. Works better for me if I can see it on a bit of paper. All right, there, put it on the screen. And when I got it prepared on a PDF, I got them to do it side by side. So each difference for trial 1 and trial 2 and each topic, which is far easier to understand than just the bloody dot points.
Well, yeah.
Provided that my printer is going to play properly. I ordered a cartridge, a replacement cartridge, and it they sent me a bloody non-original one. Doesn't seem to be happy with that option. The most controversial so far. Yes, yeah. I want it, like, I've been trying to find whether or not I can get access to any of the grand jury testimony, because I've got I actually registered for a PACER account and I've got the activation code and everything. Does that help?
I don't think they allow the grand jury testimony.
They might in Massachusetts. Massachusetts, after all, isn't it? Because Tanya was able to get Brian Higgins's grand jury testimony. Don't ask me where she got it, but yeah, it'd be interesting, because then I can put the 3 together and compare the 3. No, see, it's not bloody printing. Only witnesses can reveal what was said. Well, a lot of the grand jury testimony is actually coming out in this second trial, so it'll be included in the analysis anyway. I'm just going to have to fix this printer. Give me 2 shakes. How about we everybody brave on the internet? Yeah?
Oh, you want some music? Hang on.
Do you want to put something else on?
I was going to say there is another one. Let's try that one.
The courtroom hums with whispers low. The gavel strikes a heavy blow. Her shadow's long, but truth won't fold. Under the watch of stories told. Guilty glare under fluorescent light. Truth and lies dance through the night. A puzzle cracked, a tale unfolds. Words like fire leave fingers judgment treads. The alibis, they start to fray, like echoes chasing yesterday. Choice she made, the stains won't wash, the plans betrayed. The crowd holds breath, the clock won't tick. The air is sharp, the silence thick. Guilty glare under fluorescent light. Truth and lies dance through the night. A puzzle cracked, a tale unfolds. Words like fire leave fingers cold. The verdict's weight, it carves the stone. A single spark, the damage grown. The whispers turn to storms of flame. No one escapes the weight of blame. The verdict's weight, it carves the stone. A single spark, the damage grown. The whispers turn to storms of flame. No one escapes the weight of blame.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're back. Do you need longer?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll put the other one up.
I'm trying to find my error code.
I don't know you, but I hate your guts. I don't love you, you can kiss my butt. I knew your wife when she was just a slut. I'm a badass son of a you-know-what. A keyboard cowboy, a hashtag threat. Everybody's brave on the internet. When my thumbs get to typing, I get balls of brass. I'm down for anything, you gotta stick up your ass. I'm the reason guys like you will always finish last. Your mama didn't give birth to you, she just blew you out her ass. I'm a keyboard cowboy, I'm a hashtag threat. Everybody brave on the internet. Long on snark, short on shame, hiding behind my anonymous name. I'm the scum of the earth, I'm the shit on your shoe. Me and my followers are following you. Well, I'm a vicious roamer, I'm a bold-faced lie. I'm a tweet my daily twaddle with a twinkle in my eye. Don't you just love to watch a baby cry? Cross my heart and hope you die. I'm a keyboard cowboy, a hashtag threat. Everybody's brave on the internet. on snark, short on shame, hiding behind my anonymous name. I'm the scum of the earth, I'm the shit on your shoe. Me and my followers are following you. Well, I hit where it hurts, I cut to the chase. I lob grenades from an undisclosed place, but when the tough get going, I run and hide, 'cause God forbid I gotta take it outside. I'm a keyboard cowboy, hashtag threat. Everybody's brave on the internet.
You found your error code? I'm guessing not.
Hey, all, just a reminder to all, it is not a good thing when this trial ends up making me look competent. Hope you're enjoying the show. Keep supporting the defense rests and WNN.
And the worst bit is, while Jodie's trying to fix her printer, she's getting all this crap in her ear.
Yeah, would you believe I'm actually following a YouTube video to work out what the flashing light error is?
It means it's going to explode. Run, run. They're taking a long time on this break.
And the funny thing is, the YouTube video is dubbed in a AI voice of English, but you can tell it's been done by someone not English. And that really told me nothing. God damn it. Stupid machine. The cartridges are worth more than the printer.
Okay. That's not good.
Like blinking. Why is my Canon flashing light? No, that. Flash. One power button. MG360 flashing lights. Okay. For the power. Oh, actually, I won't show the video, but I took a video today. My cat. Tens of pound up to 14. My cat. I used to live with a housemate here, so I have a cat that's got separation anxiety. So if I close any door and he can't see me for a second, he just starts looking for me. So he quite likes that I live on my own now, and we have an open door toilet policy. But he decided that he wanted to jump up on my lap the other day and fell into my pajama bottoms. But didn't jump out, just decided, oh, okay, this is fun. I'll start playing with the cords and stuff, you know. And every time I go to the toilet now, he jumps in like he's a fucking kangaroo. dipshit. He just jumps on in. Hello, I'm going to lay down here and look at you, Mum. You're a fucking game going down there, that's for sure. I have some weird ass animals. I can't. Somebody help me fix it. Maybe I need to reinstall the driver. It spits out one bit of blank paper, and that's it. How to update your PVC drivers? Maybe I'm asking the wrong questions. What? What does one flashing mean? Canon. Do you know it's a public holiday here today? It's Anzac Day.
God, is it that time already?
Hey?
Is it
Yes,
that time?
Yep.
Bloody hell.
Definitely into the 25th of April. So happy Anzac Day. And then printer flashing blue light. It keeps taking me back to YouTube. What is that, isn't it? Oh, gee.
The issue you can see here, the blue light is blinking twice, is stopping for a few seconds and then blinking again twice, and this means your printer is in the setup mode and you have to connect with the Wi-Fi network of your home or office. If you don't want to do that, simply click on the stop button and it will stop this flashing, and you will see the wireless light is constantly on now. Thanks for watching.
It's not the one I wanted. Everybody brave on the internet. Two flashes. Christ almighty. 16 flashes. I want the one flash. I don't want. What the? Isn't helping. Why? Why is it so hard? Somebody. Is it just me?
Yep.
Nothing's ever easy. Oh, now it's stopped flashing. Holy crap. I might just turn it off and turn it on again. If in doubt, unplug it. Are they still? Oh, shit. Sorry.
That's all right.
Still on a break.
Yep.
I think I've got anything. Let me see. All right, we need to get some dipshit awards nominations. Anyone got any votes they want to add to the tally for
Karen Reid.
the inaugural dipshit award for the end of the trial?
Karen Reid.
One for Karen Reid.
Yep.
Anybody else? I've already given Hank 2, so. Actually, Teresa, would you mind keeping tally? So far, we've got 2 for Karen, 2 for Hank, and why are you ban? Who's banning people? Shuggy? Who's Shuggy?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, is it a friendly?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay. I get it. So, someone's been complaining and sent someone else in.
Yeah.
Tricia? It's a job for Tricia.
Right. Could I see counsel for a minute regarding scheduling, please?
I'm like, how come mine's got a fan and it's not on the screen? That would be Dan. Can you hear me? Am I on? Have I won anything? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
So how come I thought a managing mod could see both sides? Was there a difference?
Hmm?
There's 2 different types of moderators, isn't there? Like there's a managing
No, the managing mod can't see my chat, only yours.
So what do I change her to?
Nothing, you can't. She'd have to
bugger.
be a mod over in mine as well and
Oh, well, that's easy
be
done.
watching both chats at the same time, and it's much easier. We can do it here in StreamYard. We can see from both sides.
Yeah. Well, if you go into your YouTube studio settings, like when you're watching it, because I watch my feed in the analytics on Studio, and it tells you how many people you've got in and blah 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 blah. But in there, you can see the live chat, and to the right hand side, you've got your three little dots, and you can add or remove straight away, instantly.
You can just do it through StreamYard.
What, on the main StreamYard page?
Yeah.
Oh, I changed your colour.
Yeah, you've taken the mod status away.
Yeah, see, if I click on the three dots on StreamYard, I get delete comment, put user in timeout, or ban them. Whereas if you go into your studio, you can actually add someone as a moderator with a click of a button.
Yes, but you've taken Teresa's moderator status away.
I have. Sorry. But managing moderator is the highest, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
There you go, my lovely. You got it back. Sorry. I was looking to see if I could make it a higher one, but I demand my wrench, wench. You got it. All right, so you've got the feed. Cool. I can be AIing. Who's the next witness? Or did we finish? While they're waiting, I may as well just go through what I can see on my screen, which is a pain in the ass, not having a printer working. So, that'd be fucking right.
All right, Mr. Mayor, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Everybody brave on the internet.
Good afternoon. Just a few more items I'd like you to recognize. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Can everybody hear that? It's very low for me, that volume.
Hang on, I'll turn it up.
Thank you, darling.
Of John O'Keefe's cell phone.
Your Honor, ask it to be marked
That's better.
for identification, please.
Okay.
Exhibit A, identification.
Thank you.
Second folder.
Yes, the raw data extraction of Jen McCabe's cell phone that I created.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, ask it to be marked for identification as well.
All right.
Exhibit B for identification.
Thank you.
Trooper, you shared with us that you downloaded the extraction of the phones that you identified, and you made reports based on specific identified features. For example, a conversation between two people.
Yeah, so I didn't do the extraction of Jen's phone, but I made those reports with the PDFs from the data extraction.
Relative to Mr. O'Keefe and the defendant's phones, you created a document that provided us the phone calls between them on January 29th.
Yes, that's correct.
And separately, you also provided a document that included all of the chats or text messages between John O'Keefe and the defendant on January 29th, 2022.
Yes, it also included the 28th.
Thank you.
Yes.
And in that compilation, did you put together or do you create or review a PowerPoint of those?
Yes, I did.
And what was the point of that?
Just to show the texts and calls in a chronological order, because that way you're not looking at two different documents trying to compare and contrast the calls to text messages when each is coming in.
And did you begin that PowerPoint presentation with a call at 2:16:10 on January 28, 2022?
Yes, that's correct.
And are there additional chats or text messages earlier that morning?
Yes, there's a handful starting around 9:45 a.m.
May I
Yes.
approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Handing you a folder, sir. Could you take a look at it? Let us know if you recognize what's in it.
Yes. So this is the bulk of this is the PowerPoint calls and text messages, and at the beginning, there's the messages from before 2:16 in the morning.
I'd like to introduce this as an exhibit, Your Honor.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
Great, thank you.
Exhibit 33.
With permission, I'd ask the witness to read the text messages from the morning hours, and then we'll begin the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you have a hard copy of those for me?
It was provided. I'll see if we have another copy if you don't have it.
All right, I have, it's in here, the pre-morning hours. The ones that we discussed at sidebar. If you don't have them,
The defense has a copy for you, Your Honor.
thank you.
Got it? I'm sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Little.
Okay, thank you.
May we begin, Your Honor?
Please.
Could you first read the text messages from that morning to the jury?
Yes. Apologize if I misspell things or state things. Start time. All right. It's a little different than the format I had before. All right. This is from Karen Reed to John O'Keefe. You have really hurt me this time. This was sent
What
at
time?
9:49:20 a.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant. I'm sorry, this has been an issue with me for 8 years. It physically hurts me to see everyone else in their life do things for them, and I'm forced to always be the bad guy. This was sent at 10:02:56 a.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm not the same as everyone else. Most of the time I try to do what is healthy/smart for them. More importantly, I try to support you in what you need. You just lashed out at me and said terrible things. I don't know how you've gotten to this point with me when I'm just trying my hardest. You made your point and continue to beat me down. I have a lot going on too. Physically, I am falling apart and trying to get answers and help. 10:09:49 a.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe. I am just your girlfriend. I am not a perfect parent. I'm trying very hard and sometimes treat them - nothing like I used to. 10:46 a.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant. I know. I'm sorry for lashing out. I'm just hurting and struggle daily with them. Always feel like I'm failing at this parenting thing. I wasn't built for this. 10:14:12 a.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. Kaylee isn't perfect, but everything wonderful about her is because of you. 12:21:36 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, an emoji is sent at 12:21:59 on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, it's true, I know she's her mother's daughter, but she wouldn't be so bright and successful if she lived with anyone else. 12:22:51 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, wow, Kristen just sent 2 back-to-back messages to not lose your faith in the kids. 12:31:28 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, or in yourself, at 12:31:41 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, there's 2 emojis sent at 12:32:06 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, no, and there's 2 emojis. Life can pick you up sometimes. Please be happy with them and put away your frustrations for the rest of the day. And be so proud of yourself, JJ. That's 12:33:35 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, that's what bothers me more than anything. Should have sent Peg's or Sarah's W-2s. We are all equal guardians. 1:18:21 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, maybe you can call someone. 1:21:55 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, like who? 1:46:42 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, what time are you coming here? 1:47:38 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, it's another emoji sent, 2:05:30 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't know what time, feel kind of out of it, just trying to clear my head, 2:06:07 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, he writes, okay, 2:06:25 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, text me when you guys settle in later, 2:06.
Why don't they have this as a visual?
On the 28th. From John
So much
O'Keefe
easier
the
to follow.
defendant, sure, 2:06:58 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to, oh, no, it's cut off, yes, sir.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
That must be where the, so,
Would it be helpful if I take it
Well,
out
they're
of the
trying to
file?
say that Celebrite got that
I
wrong and they
believe it-
really said that
yeah,
over
it goes to
Paul.
the next one, so I'll start. Yeah, sorry.
With the court's permission, we'll begin the PowerPoint.
Yes.
At your leisure.
Okay. The phone calls, text messages, and then we'll start with the first slide. This is from the defendant to John O'Keefe. I feel pretty shitty about how this morning went down. I know you said sorry, but it really stung, especially when I've been trying pretty hard lately. I feel like a loser turning around, just coming back over after everything you said. 2:16:10 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, not sure what you want me to do. I said I'm sorry and I was out of line. If you prefer to stay home, I totally get it. 2:17:16 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, things in my own life have been difficult too, you know. 2:17:33 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I know. 2:17:40 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:17:45 p.m., the defendant calls John. The phone call is answered and they speak for 2 minutes, 22 seconds. 2:23:02 p.m., the defendant calls John. That's again answered. At 1:00, and they speak for 1 minute, 2 seconds. At 2:24:17 p.m., the defendant calls John and the call is rejected. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, tell me if you're interested in someone else. Can't think of any other reason you've been like this. 2:25:18 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, nope. 2:25:33 p.m. on the 28th.
He's done. He's
From John
emotionally
O'Keefe
checked
to the
out.
defendant, things haven't been great between us for a while. Ever consider that? 2:26:03 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:28:40 p.m., the defendant calls John. That call is rejected.
Mr. Guirino, can you explain to us the difference between not answered and rejected?
Yes, so if the call is
Yeah,
not
press
answered,
stop.
that means the call rang out and goes to voicemail. If the call is rejected, that is someone actively hitting the send to voicemail button to disable the call to stop it from ringing.
Yep, he done. He was using her for
From John
a bloody.
O'Keefe to the defendant, kids
a
are here,
ride.
not in the mood to talk. 2:29:03 p.m. on the 28th.
Night.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, so you're not into it anymore. That's fine, but I don't want to keep trying and you keep treating me like this. 2:29:12 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm trying to hug and kiss you this morning and you whack me in the face with a pillow. 2:29:59 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, last night you're basically like, yeah, what about when we talk about the future? So why don't you just admit you're not into so much anymore? 2:23 p.m. on the 28th.
Sick of always arguing and fighting.
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, not how it went down, but okay.
Oh.
2:26 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, can you please admit your head is out of the game with us? 2:52 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, sick of always arguing and fighting. It's been weekly for several months now. So yeah, I'm not quick to jump back into being lovey-dovey as you apparently. 2:32:28 p.m.
Oh
on
my
the
God,
28th.
stop calling.
At 2:32:47 p.m., the defendant calls John. That call is rejected. John O'Keefe to the defendant. OMG, stop calling. 2:32:54 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, then why would you start with me this morning? 2:32:58 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, you're setting me up to fail. 2:33:05 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, you started a number of fights from your end. 2:33:26 p.m. on the 28th. And John O'Keefe to the defendant, I've explained it a few times already, not doing it again. 2:33:31 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, so you're not into this anymore. 2:33:41 p.m. on the 28th.
I'm not
From
answering.
John O'Keefe to
Stop
the defendant, not into fighting all the time, correct. 2:34:03 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, if you tell me you're interested in someone else, you will never hear from me again. You can have all the space in the world. 2:34:11 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, he sends an emoji. 2:34:19 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, then stop starting with me. 2:34:20 p.m. on the 28th. 2:34:29 p.m. the defendant calls John. He rejects the call.
I'm not answering. Stop calling.
John O'Keefe to the defendant. I'm not answering. Stop calling. 2:34:42 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, can you please answer after how you treated me earlier? 2:34:43 p.m. on the 28th. 2:34:54 p.m. the defendant calls John. That's rejected. John O'Keefe to the defendant. Kaylee is right here. 2:35:02 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. You start a rager with me out of nowhere and then tell me you're sick of fighting with me. 2:35:41 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. I'm going to grab a drink in a bit. 2:38:14 p.m. on the 28th. 2:38:42 p.m. The defendant calls John. That call is rejected. The defendant to John O'Keefe, can you please answer? 2:38:52 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, no, Karen, not sure why you need to announce that you're going, not sure why you need to announce that you're grabbing a drink, but have fun. 2:39:46 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, seeing if you want to meet me later. 2:40:22 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, can you please call me? 2:40:32 p.m.
Stop it. Have some just
From
self-respect.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, have to take them to the doctor. He has practice. 2:40:55 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, 5 minutes. 2:41:17 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:43:01 p.m., the defendant calls John. It's not answered.
Oh my God.
2:43:45 p.m., the defendant calls John. The call is rejected. John O'Keefe to the defendant. My father just walked in. 2:43:58 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. Okay, can you please call me for 2 minutes? 2:44:14 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant. Not right now. 2:44:23 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. I'm there when anyone else needs me. 2:44:26 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:45:32 p.m., the defendant calls John.
God.
The call is
Oh
rejected.
my God. I would have blocked it by now.
The defendant calls Mr. O'Keefe. Yes, John, you gave me utter grief this morning. I'd like you to call me for a minute. 2:46:16 p.m. on the 28th.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't give up, does she?
The defendant to John O'Keefe. I've been trying to get over the hump with is arguing, and now you tell me you're not into doing things, and you don't want to fight weekly, but fly off the handle at 8 a.m. with me, like you're setting me up to fail. 2:47:08 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm dealing with my own personal crisis over things I have zero control over.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to lean on you too sometimes. Instead, I just hear everything I've done wrong. 2:48:34 p.m. on the
We have a
28th.
victim.
At 2:56 p.m., the defendant calls John. The call's rejected.
Oh.
At 2:51:13 p.m., the defendant calls John. It's rejected.
Oh.
2:52:37 p.m., John calls the defendant. It's not answered. At 2:53:56, the defendant calls John. Again, not answered. The defendant, John O'Keefe, you seriously cannot pick up the phone for 2 seconds. 2:54:13 p.m. 2:58:05 p.m., the defendant calls John. It's rejected. At 2:59:13, John calls the defendant. The call is answered and they speak for 4 minutes, 59 seconds.
Can you imagine what that consisted of?
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, why don't you meet me at Hillside at 4:30/5, 3:08:55 p.m. John O'Keefe to the defendant sends an emoji at 3:10:08 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, or whenever you get, or whenever you get everyone settled, 3:10:35 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, like I said, doctor now, and he has practice till 6. If you want to go start drinking, then go for it. 3:36:21 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, I didn't know the times of his practice. 3:36:40 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, I just want to give you space at the house without me there. So rather meet you out than meet at the house. 3:37:01 p.m. on the 28th.
All afternoon.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, yeah, well, now there's a 72-year-old taking up shop on my couch. 3:37:36 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, that too. 3:37:46 p.m. 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, is he going to Collins? 3:38:23 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, not tonight. 3:38:32 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, so do you plan on going out tonight? 3:39:01 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, Karen, I don't know. 3:39:17 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, you're like jonesing to drink, so go. 3:39:43 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay, well, after how this morning went down, I don't think I need to be back over there with you. Get frustrated at how I am with the kids. Has nothing to do with drinking. 3:40 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I am paranoid now that everything I do with them is problematic. So rather see you for a minute without it, kids around. 3:40:24 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, what's your plan at 4:47:16 p.m. on the 28th? From the defendant to John O'Keefe, don't have one. 4:50:09 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, so still home. 4:50:26 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, yes. 4:45 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, we just got home, waiting to see what Papa decides here, or else I have to get Patrick at 6. 4:59:45 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant, John O'Keefe, okay. 5:01:55 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, so are you staying home or coming here? 5:02:23 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, waiting to see what you end up doing. I don't want to hang out at the house too much, like I said. 5:03:40 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I think it's clear me around the kids. I think it's clear me around with the kids around is slowly killing our relationship, and our relationship is much more important to me. 5:04:16 p.m.
Oh.
on the 28th.
You shouldn't say that. Ever,
John
ever.
O'Keefe to the defendant. Well, there's a blizzard coming, so we'll be inside all weekend. 5:04:19 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. It will be over by noon tomorrow. 5:04:44 p.m. on the 28th.
It'll
John
be
O'Keefe
over
to the
by noon
defendant.
tomorrow.
Don't think so.
Oh, the
5:05:27 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. I don't want to keep having this constant conflict of the dynamic of the four of us. The harder I try, the more it kills our relationship
Hey,
as a
Stevie
couple.
Sharp.
It feels like utter shit to be in that position. Rather just meet you out for drinks when you figure out what your night looks like. 5:06:45 p.m. on the 28th.
I just can't get over
John
the.
O'Keefe to the defendant. Well, I have no idea what's going on, so do what you want. 5:07:34 p.m. on the 28th.
I want to give you some space, but
John
I'll
O'Keefe to the
line up your
defendant.
phone all
Need to
afternoon.
figure out what everyone is doing. Everyone here is doing.
Yeah.
All I know now is Madeline is coming over. No clue about Patrick yet, or if Papa is planning on hanging it for a few more hours. 5:09:29 p.m. on the 28th.
God.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe. Okay, well, when you know the story, and if you want me to come up, let me know. 5:12:36 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant. No, Karen, you decide what you want to do. 5:13:18 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe. I know your heart isn't in this anymore. I felt it for a while, and especially lately. I'm willing to try more, but not if you approaching the point of indifference. If you want me to come up and you can head out for a while,
Can you
then
pause
say
that
so
1 second?
when you know what your father is doing. 5:14.
My God. If someone blew my phone up like that, I would have switched the fucking thing off. There's no way.
I'd have drowned the thing.
No fucking way would I. Every time that message goes off, I would have just like, oh, all afternoon. All after. Where's the self-respect? Where's the dignity? If my daughters ever did that, in fact, it's probably a bit the opposite. What did Jamison say to me the other day? Her fella said something to her, and she's like, "It sounds like a you problem."
I mean, it's pretty clear from those messages and everything.
He's
He's not
emotionally checked out.
interested.
He's done. He's done. But it's not fair that he then accepts her, nominates her as the driver for the night. That's purely selfish, and that's not fair. You're out, you're out. That's it. Simple, done. Oh, for sure, Teresa. Like, Jodie's talking away. You're muted. You know, I'm not muted, am I?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have just said, you know what? Stop fucking calling me. I'm not interested in listening to this bullshit. Fuck off.
Do you know there's a really great way of stopping people being able to do that?
Block them.
No. You take your phone, you put it in the microwave, and you turn it on.
Yeah, but then you can't talk to the people you want to talk to.
You just get a new phone.
If you anyone that knows me knows that I hate talking on the phone. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I would rather someone text me, and none of this fucking 10 texts to write one fucking sentence either. Like, I get told off for writing what's called an essay, but it's one message. Not, how do you send? Want to do this? Send. Tomorrow night? Send. Fuck off! Can't stand it. It annoys the shit out of me. Every time that thing goes off, it's like, ugh. Anyway, sorry. I'm rant over.
5:23 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, you come up and I head out, really, emoji, 5:15:48. John O'Keefe to the defendant, I've told you already, I don't bounce back as quickly as you do after we have a battle.
Hello?
5:16:52 p.m. on the 28th.
You don't blow up my phone, do you? No.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, no, head out together with an emoji. 5:17:49 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, or meet out. 5:17:54 on the 28th.
Hello.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, gonna send Patrick to Collins tonight. They're picking him up around 7. Mike may hang out too when he brings Matt over. So why don't you just come over? 5:19:42 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, Mike doesn't
You
want
showing
to go
your
out for a bit. 5:20 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I would like to, been a shit day from the jump. 5:20:33 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, probably 5:20:39 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I just got sober an hour ago. 5:20:56 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'll text you, hang with Mike for a few. I don't need to butt in. Text me if/when you think you may head out. 5:25:12 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, can you send me Tim Zoll's contact info, please? 5:26:38 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, I paid the last bill. 5:27:08 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, you didn't have to do that, thanks. 5:27:43 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, are you really not going to accept my friend request?
Your butthole is on
5:32:33 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, an emoji on what, FB? 5:33:01 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, we've been going out for 2 years.
Thanks, Timmy.
5:33:20 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, I haven't gone on. You defriended me over a year ago, I believe. 5:33:48 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, Kerry texted that they're headed out in a bit. 6:05:29 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, okay. 6:14:55 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, she's going to let me know where. 6:17:51 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, so you're going to meet them. 6:18:12 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, just presenting it as an option. Wouldn't mind hanging out with them for a drink. 6:19 p.m. on the 28th. Sorry. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, is Mike over? 6:27:26 p.m. on the 28th.
You happy now?
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, yes. 6:29:45 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, sounds you're like good with getting together tonight. 6:31:32 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, was hoping after this morning you'd be interested in smoothing things over with me. 6:32:24 p.m. on the 28th.
Is it still fucking going? Are you for real?
Yep.
John
Fuck
O'Keefe to
me.
the defendant,
I'd
I
rather
told
be
you to
fun
come
with
over, but
pussy.
you insisted on meeting me out somewhere. 6:33:44 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, Mike is a little off with me for a while now. I've said that multiple times. 6:34:34 p.m. on the 28th.
Get off the keyboard. Fuck yeah.
From John O'Keefe to Karen, the defendant, time to get over it, Karen. He's fine. He was fine the other night when he came by. 6:38:09 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, where are you meeting them? 6:39:28 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't have plans with them. She just said they're headed out in a bit and will text when they land somewhere. 6:39:52 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, if you want to go out with Mike Solo, that's fine. Just let me know. 6:40:17 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I already told you what you should do. Not going to keep doing this. 6:41:07 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I asked to let me know if you guys are going to head out. I haven't been out for drinks this week and had a shit week and a shit day. And I dread Kaylee or Pat is going to get chatty with me the second I walk in, and that is going to irritate you. 6:43:21 on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, Pat is leaving, Kay is with Mad Cam. 6:44:02 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, I'll text Chris then. 6:46:44 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, we're headed out shortly. What's your plan, Karen? 7:06:13
He's
p.m.
talking
on the
about
28th.
Michael Camerano.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, do you want to join? Do you want me to join or no? 7:06:37 p.m. on the 28th.
She's so insecure.
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, yes, wasn't sure if you were meeting the Currans. 7:07:04 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, they are not out drinking yet. 7:07:40 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, where are you headed? 7:09:22 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, trying to decide maybe McCARTHYS. 7:14:48 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay then, let me know where you decide. I'm still down in Enfield. 7:21:50 p.m. on the 28th.
So it looks like 93.93.
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, text me when you leave. Still waiting on McKinney's. 7:22:28 p.m.
So it looks like 93.93.
on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm having issues with my hot water, so had to text someone to take a look. 7:24:11 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, an emoji, you trying to piss me off. 7:25:35 on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, hope your plumber buddy that you texted is hot. 7:26:24 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, nope, my shower only got lukewarm and now my sink won't run hot at all. The plumber I used is right down the road. 7:26:27 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I turned that temp thing in the basement all the way up. 7:26:52 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, check the hot water heater and see if it's leaking. 7:26:52 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, it's not. 7:26:59 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, don't do that. 7:27:01 p.m. on the 28th.
What's
John
happening
O'Keefe
in my
to the
head?
defendant, is the pilot lit? 7:27:08 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I was trying to get my shower hot. 7:27:12 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yes. 7:27:14 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, don't turn it up. Don't turn it all the way up. 7:27:26 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, it will burn out. 7:27:32 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I had this issue twice before and it wasn't a disaster. I just can't remember what the cause was. 7:27:41 on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, Just turn it back to where it was and get over here. 7:28:08 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't want to come home in a blizzard and then really be up shit creek. 7:28:53 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, so you're going home tonight, 7:29:18 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, or tomorrow or whenever. I've had a chill all day since my shower. 7:29:45 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, it's going to snow all day tomorrow, no driving. 7:30:05 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, we're headed to McCARTHYS. 7:41:29 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay, let me know if you end up leaving. 7:41:57 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, why? Now you're not coming. 7:42:27 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm waiting for the plumber. I actually think he's in the driveway. 7:42:56 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, we're taking Mike's car, so I'm relying on you for a ride home if he leaves. 7:43:10 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, he's not going home after. 7:43:27 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, 8 o'clock on a Friday. 7:43:31 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, he may have to get Michael. 7:43:46 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, you have a plumber coming over at 8. Knowing me and Papa could have handled it. Good luck. 7:44:36 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I have always told you I will not put either of you out of your way the way everyone else in your life does. I knew it wasn't working right when you were at the doctor's with Kaylee, and I knew neither of you could get here. And this guy, Richie, fixed it last time, whatever it was. He was supposed to be here at 5, 7:48:01 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, if it's not a quick fix, I'll tell him to forget it. 7:48:20 p.m. on the 28th. $7:55:04 p.m. on the 28th. I just want to make sure nothing is wrong / will go wrong with when I'm not home. 40 on the defendant, he's not a scammer. Half the quick stuff he doesn't even charge me for. 7:56:06 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, he just put the toilet seats on crooked. 7:56:28 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, status 8:09:02 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, still here with an emoji, 8:09:18 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, said he's got to go to HD and probably be back mañana, 8:23:56 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, so 8:24:43 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, an emoji, 8:25:02 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, just trying to figure out if I need to be here, 8:25:51 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, what does it need, 8:26:01 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't know. He showed me some pieces that was all rusted with an emoji. I don't understand half this stuff. 8:26:42 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, on the water heater, 8:26:59 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yes, 8:27:08 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, tell him to leave it. I'll take care of it Sunday or Monday, 8:28:30 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, no, it's okay. I can either meet him here or just shut off the alarm, 8:28:52 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, he used to work here while I was at work, 8:29:02 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, does he realize it will be whiteout conditions tomorrow a.m., 8:29:32 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, but he lives right down the road, 8:29:47 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, Karen, this storm is going to be intense, can't drive, 8:30:19 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay, well, if he can't, he can't, 8:30:36 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, I'll do it Monday, 8:30:56 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I better not still have this problem on Monday, 8:31:22 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, you plan on being there, 8:31:43 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I too know I can take a hot shower there here if I need to, 8:32:14 p.m. on the 28th. Figured you'd be, from John O'Keefe to the defendant, figured you'd be in Canton until Monday, 8:32:32 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I'm getting off my phone. Let me know what you're doing, 8:32:54 p.m. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I think the four of us together is toxic to this relationship. Would like to limit it, 8:33:16 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, you said so yourself for probably a year now, 8:33:52 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, blizzard tomorrow, nobody is going anywhere, 8:33:56 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, maybe I'll come back late tonight. Bad snow is in the early a.m., 8:35:14 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'll head up there in a few min. Let me know if you leave, 8:35:26 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, an emoji, he says sure, 8:35:34 p.m. on the 28th. And that was the last of them.
All right.
We're almost done, sir.
And you can feel free to stand.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
So that presentation is a compilation of text messages and phone calls between John O'Keefe and the defendant on January 28, 2022.
Yes, that was.
Aside from that compilation, are there other text messages and phone calls that you've reviewed between John O'Keefe and the defendant that evening, January 28, 2002, going into past midnight, January 29, 2022?
Yes, there's more text messages.
And those text messages and phone calls, are they a separate compilation from this?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, please, God, don't read them. Please, God, don't read them.
Triple Guirino.
Yes. All right. Another time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is this the time for me to see counsel at sidebar? Okay. Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to introduce exhibits or clips 7 through 11.
That was the night I fell asleep streaming.
34.
Thank you.
With the court's permission, could I begin with clip 7?
Yes.
Oh, God.
When you walked out of the bar, how many drinks had you had?
I had probably about 4, and not 4 that I completed either. I didn't drink maybe more than a few sips at the waterfall.
And 4 drinks you felt fine to drive?
Yep.
Clip 8, please.
Okay.
And is the level of intoxication pretty high here for everybody?
It's happy.
Yeah.
It's
You had a lot to drink, right?
I wouldn't say I have like a normal amount. Let's say like a vodka tonic every 40 minutes.
Okay. And so are you feeling like buzzed? And I'm not judging, I'm just trying to get a sense.
Buzzed.
Yeah.
Clip 9, please.
The final count summer. The final count of my alcohol intakes, probably about 5 or 6 or 4. The drinks that they were pouring me at McCARTHYS, which is where I consumed most of the alcohol, was the weakest vodka tonic. It tasted just like old soda water with lime. Not that I need it to be a martini, but it might have had a splash of vodka in it. So I said, John, this drink tastes like it has no vodka in it. He said, just get a shot and mix it yourself. So each drink was being counted as a double. So I would get a vodka tonic and then I would pour a shot into it. So that would count as 2. Frankly, it just felt like a regular cocktail. It was just a really weak pour. So I asked for a shot. So for my taste, it just tasted like that's the normal strength of what a drink should be. So I had maybe 2 or 3 that are being counted as 4 and 6. And I don't know. I felt fine. I felt like I was buzzed. And then there was one drink, the last one that was given to me, which I would have counted as 3, but they're counting as my 6th cocktail. The guys that were with brought around shots, and they gave me one that I didn't drink, but I poured it in my drink. So that's now my 5th and 6th drinks, with the 7th, which is a shot that all the men did, and I poured it. So that one glass that I'm holding, that I go into the waterfall with, has 3 drinks in it, a vodka tonic and 2 shots. And which is why John said to me, you're not leaving that drink here, like you haven't touched it and just poured a bunch of vodka, like just take it with you, which was something he always did. So then I go into Waterfall, and I put that drink down and I socialize most of the time. So that would have been my 5th, 6th, and 7th drinks. Then John orders me a drink at the Waterfall that I don't drink, that he takes with him. And then there was a round of shots that Chris Howard bought that I did take. So that would have been the 9th. But I did not consume 9 vodka martinis or take 9 shots, depending on how you count it. And the last 2 drinks I didn't touch.
Clip 10, please.
I mean, I'm not as clear as I would be if I hadn't been drinking. I mean, I've had drinks, so, and that led me to question, like, could I have hit him? Did I run over his foot or hit him in the knee? Did I incapacitate him? I mean, I always drive with my music blasting ever since I was 16. And I know when John got out of the car to go into Fairview, I know my car was blasting because when I got in it the next morning to go look for him, I had to immediately turn it down. And I don't know, it's stormy. I have had a few cocktails. I didn't black out, but I wasn't as lucid as I would have been if I had gone to bed at 9 and drank a tea. But so I was fuzzier than I would have been if I had had no alcohol.
State the fucking obvious.
Clip 11, please.
Can you hold it 1 second? Brian, we had a trial on a few weeks ago. It was the birthday bash one where this old lady.
I wouldn't have gotten on the expressway.
Are you there, Dan?
I wouldn't have gotten on expressway at 12:15 on January 29th. I mean, it was quiet. The roads were very quiet. You can see it on the videos. And I was going, you know, when I've had a few drinks and I drive, I always drive extra.
Yeah. Oh, did I do that? Or did you do it? I think I did. Did I?
I did.
Oh, thank you. We had a trial on it a few weeks ago, and it was about this old woman who I don't know if you saw it. She reversed out of her driveway, backed into a parked car, took off, and 300 meters down the road, smashed into the Swan Club, which was like a boat club where kids were having a birthday party. And I think she killed 2 kids, I think, didn't she? Or one? I can't remember from the... Anyway, but she had gone out for lunch with her friends and only ordered 1 glass of wine, and she was adamant she only had 1 glass of wine for the day. And her husband had CCTV footage throughout the house, and she had gone at 9:01 to the bottle shop and bought 4 mini bottles of white wine and a bottle of red. And they found an empty bottle of white wine in the center console of her car, and then all the CCTV footage showed her filling up that bottle of red after she'd been to the pub before she backed out of her driveway. So she drank the 4 bottles of white and the whole bottle of red after 1 glass at the pub. And she had so many people say, no, she only ordered 1. She only had 1 drink. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If for nothing else, they should throw the book at Karen for drink driving.
Well, they were all doing it. All of them. So if you're going to throw it at her, throw it at everyone, because every one of them did.
Yep, I agree.
Yep. There is no excuse. It's irresponsible. Anywho, yeah. It's a good trial to watch.
I like that one, Bri. I only had 1 glass of wine. It was filled 32 times, but only 1 glass.
Yeah. This is why I don't drink. Unless I'm grifting. And then Bri buys straight up $50 bloody super chat. And I think it was, what was it, every $2 or something I had to take a shot. So every $5, I think it was. Yep. It was a shot of cocksucking cowboy, so it was Baileys and butterscotch schnapps. Oh, that bitch stole my butterscotch schnapps.
Well, that's not good.
No.
I know my alerts aren't as sharp as they should be. But I shouldn't have been driving. But I don't think I was driving. I know I wasn't driving recklessly. I mean, I've got plenty of video of myself driving all over the place. I put my car in John's garage, which is incredibly narrow, and I had a very oversized SUV. You see me. There's a video of me driving through the intersection when we leave Waterfall to go to Brian Albert's, and I was always taught by my father, even when you have a green light, you always should tap the brake. You don't know who's going to run red. And I see me doing that multiple times between 12 and 1 and 5 and 6 a.m. So I know I was driving safely, not as safely or as alert as I would be if I had no alcohol. But I was not driving recklessly by any measure.
Thank you. Your may we approach?
Yes.
There you go. I will pop that link for that trial in chat. because they go through the whole trial and they wait until the very end. Because they waited for ages. I think she kept refusing to have a blood sample or blood drawn or something. So when her bloods came back, they weren't as high as they were. I think that was the case.
All right, jurors, there was some confusion with counsel regarding witnesses. So those are the witnesses for today, so we're done for today. Counsel assures me that won't happen again.
What?
But more importantly, we're on track. We're on schedule, not going for the rest of the day. Won't interfere with our schedule.
Holy shit.
Until the bell curtains.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a beautiful day. You'll have a nice afternoon. Tomorrow we'll be going on a view. So for that,
they're going out to the property.
We'll be walking around a little bit. We'll be going by bus, and I'll have more instructions for you tomorrow morning. But please follow those instructions. Do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into this case. If
This was
you
a good one
happen to
too.
see, hear, read anything about this case, please disregard it and let us know, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Remember, tomorrow's a half day.
All rise for the court, please. Close your notebooks and follow me.
So tomorrow's a half day as well.
Yeah, and Monday.
Monday they're doing half testimony, half voir dire.
Yep.
Well, I can go through these assessments, the thingies, because I didn't get a chance to before. Are they going to argue anything now, or? They're going to, have they got any motions to argue now, or are they just is it a scheduling thing?
Jury is exit the courtroom.
All right. Mr. Brennan, have you had an opportunity to think about whether experts should be permitted to either be present or watch the proceeding? And I also want to know, are you expecting to put on any expert testimony tomorrow?
Dr. Fowler will testify tomorrow. I think that should be
Fowler.
considered expert testimony. He provides the procedures and protocol for the testing of blood serum.
Okay.
So I think he's technically considered an expert, although one of the briefer ones.
All right. Does the defense want an expert to be able to watch that? All right. So I know we've had a lot going on this morning. Do you want to address this tomorrow? When do you want to address whether experts should be present?
I can address it tomorrow morning. I can consider.
All right. We'll do that. And have you talked about who you all mean? Like, do you all know who you want to have exempt from the sequestration order?
We haven't got to that detail. I'm sure they have in mind who they want. I haven't gotten to that point yet.
All
We
right.
can have that discussion so that we can present it tomorrow what my position is and address the court on the witnesses.
Sure, we can do that. And then I know you said that you've got an agreement that you'll provide witnesses or a list of witnesses in advance to defense counsel, and I'm sure you'll provide witnesses in advance to Mr. Brennan. Include me on that, please. I'd just like to know
Very
who's
well.
coming up the next day because I have to prepare as well.
Happy to. Thank you.
Okay? All right, so we'll see you
Brown
tomorrow morning.
nose.
Thank you again.
Oh,
All rise.
he's such a suckhole.
And that's it.
He's a brown noser. He's the one that would sit up the front of the class like this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of it.
Yeah, but he's questioning everything. He's micromanaging the lot, bruh. Everything. Everything. So are they going to stream the trip out to Fairview or no?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I haven't seen anything in any other trial, have you?
No. But
So-
you never know which way they're going to go.
And did they say, was it a morning visit or was it an afternoon?
I
visit?
didn't catch.
No, me either. All right, so it's Massachusetts. Is it district court? What did I call it the other day? I wonder if I can get onto their scheduling. No, it's Norfolk District County, isn't it? Norfolk County criminal or Superior Court. I know he says hear ye, and tells me what it is, but I don't know. I don't listen to after that. Criminal court scheduling. I'll have a look at that, and if I can find it, I shall let you know what time. Because there's no point us starting 9 o'clock in the morning if they're not going to be there until after lunch. So I will look for the thumbnail with the time on it. I'll let you know, Dan, but and I'll probably put a post up in the community post. But what? What are you looking for? Stop looking. He's found it. All right. Kerry Roberts. Kerry Roberts. How many pieces?
Why don't you save that for tomorrow? Since we know we have a half day.
Well, they're testifying for half of it, and then the rest was, if they're not going to stream it, then...
Yeah, while they're not streaming it, we can do all that stuff because we'll have the stuff from tomorrow as well.
I can't. It's a public holiday. Oh, tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow night, yeah, maybe. My my children have decided that they're coming over because I've got a heap of stuff that's got to go down either out onto hard rubbish or down to the salvos. So they've just decided that tomorrow's the day, or today here for me. So I'll be pointing and saying there, move that there, take that there. But yeah, I'm happy to, if you want to bugger off, I'm happy to go through Kerry's, what do you call it, testimony, or all right, hang on. I'll tell you what, I'll look up and see if I can find Norfolk District scheduling now. What can I put on for you?
There's a new song back there.
What?
I put a new song back there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Karen's Ride.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll put that on whilst I'm looking. Hold your horses.
She grabbed her keys and stumbled out. A taste of whiskey still in her mouth. The night was cold, her mind was haze, lost in a twisted, reckless craze. Karen's wheels spinning fast, a love tonight, a shadow cast. She never saw the fading light, just the chaos of the night. His voice an echo in her head, words he whispered, things he said. But as the booze took hold inside, she pushed the pedal, let it slide. Karen's wheels spinning fast, a love tonight, a shadow cast. She never saw the fading
link and it won't fucking let me in because of my bloody where I am. If anyone can get onto that link, it's the court docket for Norfolk County court cases. The Supreme motherfucker. I need to add a VPN. And that should take you to the mass.gov site. Search court dockets, calendars, and case information. And then you've got a list of different. But it won't let me get in.
No, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. I actually found a free VPN thing, so I might actually do a bit of that. Oh, I've got some time on my hands. Do some. I should set up a bloody stream deck. That's terrible, Jodie. It's April. You got it for Christmas. Trial court web support. Anyone had any luck?
Nope.
Did you ever go to gym?
Yeah.
Not letting you in either?
No.
Wonder why. It says access public trial court dockets and case information.
And then it may not say which way round they're doing it.
You're off through there and public court. I want criminal.
I think we'll just have to leave it until we find out.
All right. Well, what do you want to do? Should we plan on the 9 o'clock start, and I'll alter it and change it so that I know if that changes, or wait.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Like, set it up tomorrow. Do you want me to set it at a certain time, or do you want me to hold it in private until I know and then?
Up to you. I don't mind either way. I'll be here at the normal time anyway, so I don't care.
Do you want to start at 9 or?
Yeah, can do, because we've got all that stuff with the AI database. So if they're doing it in the afternoon, we can do the AI database straight away. If they're going in the morning, well, then we can show the trial as normal in the morning and do the AI stuff in the afternoon.
All right. All right. There you have it. I will set it for 9. Be there or be square.
Woohoo!
You get an early reprieve. It's my
Yeah, no. It was. It's fine now.
I might have a play with my audio whilst I'm here. All right, my lovelies. Stay safe, stay well. We'll see you same bat time, same bat channel. And for fuck's sake, stay away from Hank Brennan. No,
Bye all.
Bye-bye.
It's been 12 months since acquittal, and so much has passed us by. Such a scattering with evidence, and some blatant flat-out lies. I bet he wears those silky undies, the ones with that jean made of lace. So you can bring in Massachusetts, cause we all ain't got no quit. And we all know that the truth is my car is not the thing John